Recently, every manufacturer has released some new compacts into the market, and if you're buying some for yourself or as a present for Christmas for someone, you've got a lot of choice at the moment. So we're going to look at 5 models today. Okay, so the first one that we've got is Samsung NV20. It's a 12 megapixel camera. Next one along is the Fuji Z10 FD, nice stylish pink one. Next one is the Samsung i85 multimedia camera. Then we've got the Nikon Coolpix S510, and finally we've got the Ricoh R7. Okay, so the first model we're going to look at is the Ricoh Capio R7. This updates the R6 model, and the same 28 to 200mm wide zoom lens is still fitted in. But the main improvements are with the LCD screen, which is now 2.7 inches from 2.5, and also the sensor, which now stands at 8 megapixels. One of the other main improvements inside the camera is the new processor. It's now been fitted with a smooth imaging 3 engine. The design of the R7 maintains all the positive features of the R6. It's still got quite a slim body for a camera with such a good zoom. It's got a really simple layout and it feels really sturdy and robust. One thing that immediately strikes you about the camera is how fast it is to operate. When you power it up, it does it really rapidly, and when you're moving through the zoom range as well, it's done so at a really good pace. On the downside though, it might be a little bit too fast for some, as it's a bit harder to precisely control what you're zooming into. It's also quite a noisy camera as well, so it might put some people off. Image quality is generally good, with massive improvements in noise control, resulting in manageable images right up to ISO 800 or so. The images do soften at the edge of the frame a little bit, but the colours and exposures are both consistent. There's not a lot that the Ricoh R7 can't do. It's got a great wide-angle lens, good noise control, and it performs really quickly, and for that we give it 88%. Okay, so the next model we're going to look at is the Nikon Coolpix S510. It's got an 8 megapixel sensor and a 2.5 inch LCD, and you can pick one up for around £180. One of the main benefits of the vibration reduction system in the camera is that it's optical based. What that means is that it shifts the elements within the lens to compensate for camera shake, and that's a lot more preferable than an ISO based stabilisation, which results in noisy images usually. It's quite a small compact, but given that it's only got a 3 times optical zoom, it's a little bit chunky. But the design of it's quite nice. It's got a brushed metal finish, it's got a 2.5 inch LCD on the back, and it's got a mode dial for selecting menu options. Generally, images are quite nice. The exposures are accurate and the face detection does work really well, and also the macro mode is really nice and sharp. There's a little bit of fall off in the corners, but that's to be expected on a camera of this sort of price. But overall it does put in a good performance. Overall, the S510 is quite a competent little model. It's got a nice design and images are generally quite pleasing, and for that we give it 87%. Okay, the next model we're going to look at is the Samsung i85. This is from their multimedia range. It's got an 8 megapixel sensor, a 5 times optical zoom, and more impressively it's got a huge 3 inch LCD screen on the back. The design of the camera is actually quite pleasing. It's got a brushed metal finish on the front, and the LCD screen on the back's made the buttons a little bit small, but overall it's quite sleek and it does look quite impressive and stylish. Being in Samsung's multimedia range, the camera also has an MP3 and a video player, and usually when a camera attempts too much it often fails to impress, but the i85 actually does quite well. For around £200, all of the features that you'd expect in a camera like this are here, such as red eye fix, shape reduction and face detection. The menus aren't that clear though, and the abbreviations can be a little bit confusing at times. Image quality is neither great nor terrible, with image having a tendency to appear over-sharpened, and colours are okay, but slight fringing is evident throughout the frame. Given that the i85 does attempt a lot, it does actually pull off quite a good performance. It looks really nice too, and for that we give it 87%. Usually when you spend under £150, style goes out the window, but the Fuji Z10 FD is a very stylish camera, costing £140, and it comes in 7 other colours with a nice brushed metal finish. Despite it being quite an inexpensive camera, it's actually loaded with quite a lot of new technology, such as face detection and a high ISO mode. It's also got an anti-blur, and it's backed by a 7 megapixel sensor. The layout of the camera is quite minimal. There's only 3 buttons on the whole camera and 2 multifunctional rings. They're a little bit shallow though, and it can be a little bit fiddly to operate at times. On a nice day, images are quite punchy, but average when it's a bit gloomy. Face detection also doesn't always find its target, and the ISO-based anti-blur system can make for noisy images at times. Considering what you get for your money, it does offer good value, and its design is really nice too. Unfortunately, the image quality and the performance isn't up to scratch, and for that we give it 85%. Okay, so the last camera we're going to look at is the Samsung NV20. It's the latest in Samsung's NV range, and it's got the expected black and blue styling and also the Smart Touch interface on the back. Despite having a 12 megapixel sensor, the camera's features are fairly basic. There's a 3x optical zoom and only a 2.5-inch LCD at the back, and for this sort of price at £220 we'd really expect a 3-inch LCD. The Smart Touch interface is a bit difficult to comprehend at first, but once you've gotten used to it, it does cut down operational time. Having said that, the focusing and shooting speed isn't the fastest and it slows it down again. It's a case of good things coming to those who wait with regards to image quality, as whilst it might take a while to shoot, but the NV20 does produce excellent exposures, and even areas of contrast, noise and fringing is restricted admirably. It can be a little bit slow to operate, but the design and the Smart Touch user interface is a real bonus for this camera, and for that we give it 86%.